3, 2, 1, 0, and liftoff. Liftoff. Americans return to space as Discovery clears the tower.
Welcome back to TTMTrades. Today we're going to be doing my daily review on ticker BTCS, a Bitcoin related over OTC market stock, meaning it's not on a major exchange. All right. So before we get into it, finally reached 1,000 followers. I'm so hyped. I appreciate everybody. And on the YouTube, we're at 251 total. We're trying to aim for 10,000 this year. I know it's a big goal, but hey, we could do it. So keep subscribing if you're learning and I'm adding value to your trades and you're making money. All right. So, but the biggest thing is that you're learning. So let's just jump right into a ticker BTCS. All right. So let's look at the price action. What we have here is trend lines. So the biggest thing, looking at the past trend, like I said, I got in this one back at 10 cents and then rode this one all the way back up to 24 cents and got out, peaked out at 30 and it's been on a downtrend ever since. So I've been waiting on this stock to bottom out. So back as this trend was beginning, I drew trend lines to map the trend. So we had a low here, a high with a higher low. So I drew a trend line from those two lows, which gives us the initial trend. Then we tried to make another high here. We did not, came back down. We made a higher high. So then I drew another trend line from this low to the higher low, which mapped out the second trend, and then made a higher high with a higher low. And again, as you can see, went from this trend to this higher low and mapped out that trend line. All right, so and this is just showing the trend adjust. So we have an initial trend, secondary trend, and a tertiary trend. All right, third trend line. As we went up, we retraced it back into that 27 to 33 cent range, topped out, and it's been coming down. So when you map out the initial trend, you want to see if the stock will fall back into one of those three trend lines. So as it came down, as you can see, it closed right here, right on top, but it did not hold above it. Gap down under it, tried to come back up and come above it, could not, failed, came back down. Again, tried to hold above this trend line, fell through. All right, so now what we have here is nice consolidation and bounces off of the initial trend. Came down, nice bounce here, came up again, came down. Nice bounce here. Tomorrow we should continue back up. So right now we have a nice solid bottom with the volume decreasing, which says sellers are getting out of this stock, and or shorts who bought in at the top and wrote this down. So with the volume decreasing and us having a nice support in the lower 11 cent range, then this tells me that this is the bottom and that the initial trend from this point to this point is holding as the new support. So overall, what we have here is a low, a high, come back down, a higher low, since this support is higher than this support back down here. So since we have a higher low, then with any trend you will create a higher high. Now what would that higher high be? We already had a retracement of the 27 to 33 cent range. With us creating a higher high, we should have a retracement back into this 39 cent range and try to work our way back up to this initial high of 58 cents. So this is a good area to take your entry, since this is a nice support area. How do we know that this trend is still bullish? All right, like we said initially, had a low, a high, a higher low, and we're working to create another high. Now your RSI. The RSI is my favorite oscillator. I love the RSI. You could literally trade with the RSI and not use any other indicator and or oscillator. So with the RSI, I drew a green box here. This green box runs from 80 down to 40. Okay, you would say why? Because a lot of people know the RSI from, if it dips below 30, it's oversold. If it goes above 70, it's overbought, so on and so forth, right? Those are the basic commercial answers. The RSI has many other signals within it that a lot of people do not talk about and or they simply do not know about. So with this line from the 80 to 40 area, this is a bullish area. What do I mean by this? This shows that when a stock breaks through and when it starts to pull back, if it finds support on that 50 line and or that 40 line, then that shows that the trend is still bullish. Let's look. RSI, all right. Constance Brown, all right. Constance Brown suggests that oscillators do not travel between 0 and 100. This also happens to be the name of, okay, skip all that. Brown identifies a bull market range and a bear market for RSI. RSI tends to fluctuate between 40 and 90 in a bull market uptrend, with the 40 and 50 zones acting as support. All right, so if we go back here, 40 to 90, I don't put 90. 90 is very extreme. Normally, if the RSI breaks above this 80 area, I'll start putting trailing stop losses, because I know 90 is extreme and the price action will pull back very soon. But I run mine from 40 to 80. So if you see here, we had an uptrend, broke up, hit that oversold area, and as we begin to trend down, we found support right in that 40 range, and we've tripled bottom on the 40. 1, 2, 3. All right, so just like you have double bottoms and triple bottoms within your price action, you will also get those on your RSI. So by us having a triple bottom, 1, 2, 3, and my 10-period moving average coming down, the price action, the RSI is consolidating in a very, very tight range, which means a breakout is soon to happen. Same thing down here. Price action is consolidating within these between these two trend lines, and a breakout is soon to happen, with 14 being the current resistance right now and the lower 11 cents being the support right now. All right, so we should have a breakout here very, very soon, and then begin to start working on our way back up. So if I were to make an entry right now, anywhere between 11 and 14 cents would be a great entry. The volume is low, which is signaling that sellers are getting out of this stock and shorts are getting out of this stock. Once buyers begin to notice that sellers and shorts are moving out the way, then they will begin to come in and accumulate shares, and then they will ride this wave back up. So this is a sleeping giant. Everybody should keep their eye on. Easy retracement to 24 cents, which for me will be 100% return on my money. And then if we are aiming to make a higher high based off an uptrend movement of higher highs and higher lows, as you can see here, had a low, higher high, higher low. We're going to aim to make a higher high, which should be in this 39 cent range, and then start working our way back up to this 58 cent range where it originally peaked out. So sleeping giant, ticker BTCS, all signs are pointing to a bullish reversal here soon. This is a higher low, and we should be aiming to make a higher high here beginning this week, heading into next week. So keep your eyes on this one. Has been consolidating for quite some time now. Keep in mind, the longer the consolidation, the stronger the breakout. Okay, so we've been consolidating, give or take, now going on 2 weeks. So when the breakout happens, it's going to be a very strong breakout. So do not be left behind trying to catch this wave. All right, if you learned something today, TTMTrades, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. Until next time for the next daily review, be safe with your trades. Make sure you are able to identify support and resistance areas before you enter every trade, and be safe.
Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.